All right, here we are, the final leg. It's going to be a little bit longer, but really not too terrible long. Let's go ahead, get started up, get going on here. We are at KISM, and let's go ahead and talk. First.
KISM Airport information, Yankee 1700.
We got live weather on since there's been an update. We'll see what that looks like.
Sky condition.
And we're going to depart south.
Kissimmee ground, Cessna Kilo November Echo, Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 ready to taxi departure to the south with Zulu.
Cessna Kilo November Echo, Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 taxi to and hold short of runway tree via taxiway Delta Bravo cross runway tree Bravo Alpha cross runway 24 Alpha. Contact tower on 124.45 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway tree via taxiway Delta Bravo cross runway tree Bravo Alpha cross runway 24 Alpha Cessna Oscar November 5.
Alright, so I'm gonna go taxi. For some reason it says we're gonna cross 33 and then turn back around, I guess. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a map up of this. Let's try to pull quick. Make sure that. Okay, I see what's going on here. So, gotta cross 33 over here. Oh man, we're having a bit of frame issues already. So we'll cross 33 here. Probably just take off from here, but we'll taxi all the way down. Turn here, and then head all the way to the end of the runway. Saying to turn, go too quick, and it's not wanting to turn into the wind. So it looks like we got some clouds on the way. I'm hoping they're not too low. Apparently they have fixed the issue that we ran into when we were heading through Mississippi, and now clouds should not be touching the ground, or at least be fog, rain, instead of the thick clouds that they were. But let's call this good. That's definitely enough runway for us to take off on. Got some photogrammetry trees there. That's what you're going to have when you're trying to make 3D objects out of 2D photos. Let's contact tower and...
Kissimmee Tower Cessna Kilo November Echo, Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 at runway tree ready for departure south departure.
Cessna Kilo November Echo, Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 altimeter tree 0.14 wind tree 47 at 14. South departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree Cessna Oscar November 5.
Alright, let's take off on the tree. So yeah, there's been an update, and I've also had to drop it to DX11 because DX12 wasn't working with my favorite hyperplanes, so I had to revert back to that. Shouldn't affect anything. There was no really big gain out of DX12 because it was beta and not really developed much, but you're up and we're gonna climb up here, get some altitude, hold it at around 60. At 300 feet. Start climbing a bit more. We're gonna have to get ourselves turned around until we are fairly clear.
Cessna Oscar November 5, continue for south departure.
Kissimmee Tower Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5, continue for south departure.
So the good thing about live weather is right here, it's all clear. But then as we saw when we were taxiing, there are clouds off in the distance, and the weather will change instead of being constant over a 2-hour flight. So hopefully it's working all right. We don't run into any issues. Who knows, all that cloud could be off over the ocean for all we know. I'm gonna go ahead and head east here. We need to trim this out so I'm not playing with it so much. There we go. And once we kind of clear the airport, we should be able to just turn now and be fine. And we are on our way. We're gonna head pretty much southeast until we reach the beach, and then follow the east coast, see the Atlantic for the first time, and follow that all the way down. Now we could just straight line it to Homestead, but that would put us over a bunch of swamp and not really interesting terrain. So I want to go to the beach. We're gonna not be able to see Daytona because Daytona's back up that way. But we are gonna pretty much be, once we get to the beach, probably around Melbourne, maybe Palm Springs, I think. Then we'll pretty much be over towns the entire time. We'll be able to see a couple of racetracks, well, one racetrack at Palm Beach. Then we're going to see a bunch of motocross tracks if we're able to spot them. Let's hop outside real quick, take a look, go over this lake. There's the airport back there. And right now we have pretty smooth flying. We're at 2,000. But pretty excited for this trip to be over with. It's been fun, and something I've wanted to accomplish for a long time. So glad that I've done it. I've got a few other ideas that I'm going to be working on. Hopefully be able to get it set up to where my dad can get on Discord with me and see my view and walk me through doing a startup of a CRJ,
November 5, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
and then flying into Aspen.
Kissimmee Tower Cessna Kilo November
So
Echo
we'll do a
Bravo
quick
Oscar
trip,
November
Denver
5,
to
frequency
Aspen,
change.
and walk him through. So I'm going to try to test that out with my brother and just make sure that streaming to Discord and recording at the same time is not going to cause a massive amount of lag and issues for me. So it will be good. We can see if my dad can communicate to me well enough to explain things that he does every single day. And there's a bunch of crap I do not understand about flying that's just never sunk in, and I've never cared about, that he's going to have to try to get me to understand, I guess, or explain it in a way that I know what the hell he's talking about. So I might just have to have my brother on there to translate. But hopefully we can work that out and do a flight like that. And then we'll see what plane gets put on the marketplace first, Twin Otter or the Kodiak. Either one of them probably be my next flight as we, I think we're going to head to the Keys and check out what the Florida Keys actually look like. Just because in my head, I think one thing, but I'm not, you know, I'm probably not thinking big enough for them. And until you see it in sim, it's not really gonna make sense what they are, how small they are, how large they are. So, and then from the Keys, we'll fly down to Cuba and see what Cuba's all about. I'm wondering if Cuba's got any racetracks, if they have any motorsports at all. So I might do a little bit of research into that and see what I can come up with. But that's what I've got planned. We're not going to just stop flying. Even though these don't get a lot of views, I enjoy it. It allows me to put content out there that isn't just all racing. It's not competitive. And I can kind of just relax, which is always good to have. I mean, I do a lot of, well, not a lot of flying, but a few flights. I do a lot of flying, I guess, in Nebraska when I'm not recording, because flying in Nebraska is not all that exciting. But I enjoy it, especially if I'm on the road and I see an airport in some random town that I didn't know about. Then I go fly there and check it out, see how much it looks like what it's supposed to look like. Let's start looking for the coast. Can't see it yet, and these clouds are coming up. We're not going to have to worry about anything temperature-wise because we are at Fahrenheit. We're at, I don't know, 0, guessing 30 or 40. I don't think we're going to ice up here. Down just a tiny bit so that kind of gets some of this climb out of it. It's not going to slow us down too much. Controller's working fairly well, so that's good. And I don't know where I'm at because it doesn't matter, because I know if we just continue in this direction, we're going to get to the coast, and then it will be very easy to know where we're at. So these clouds aren't very thick. I'm not going to worry about going through them. Could probably get over them. Or under them, but just go to the left just a bit and maybe be fine. But yeah, those are some of the ideas that I've got planned for future videos. Definitely want to go fly over England some more, and I think I want to do South Africa again because that place was amazing looking when I flew there in the beta. That was so much different than I thought it was. So definitely another place I want to go to, and then, yeah, see what I can come up with for ideas, but it'll be a good break from racing. Japan would be another good one. Just flying over Tokyo is crazy. Go check out where Suzuka, can't even think of what the free track, Okayama, and Twin Ring. Go find those, maybe. But it's good that we are on the last leg of this. I don't know the total hours that we've done. I will have to calculate that after I get this uploaded and just kind of look at video length. And only had to do one flight over due to bad recording. I am not happy about running out of fuel that one flight, but that was just a overall bad situation. We got a motocross track down there, I think. Maybe? No. I thought it was, but it's like it's just maybe some construction. So, is that the ocean? I think we're getting there. Closing in on 4,000 feet. We didn't get up this high last time, but we also had overcast. Hop outside real quick. See what we got under us. Some farmland. Not sure what they're farming here. Got a main road, interstate heading over there. Let's see if we can figure out what that is. I think that is 192. So then we're gonna probably approach south side of Melbourne. Looks like that's what we're gonna get to, so these clouds are kind of fading away as well. Not gonna have to worry about those. This way just a bit and head more south because that's the direction we need to go, but definitely want to get up next to the beach. A bit of nose up after that turn, but it should even itself out here. Kick from the bad controller. The mouse isn't going away, so I'll get that off screen. But yeah, the Twin Otter's coming out middle of the month, and it looks like it's a pretty good plane. More interesting, I think, than the Kodiak, and has more variants with the base model and cheaper. Plus it's a twin engine, and I just kind of like twins. So my brother will have to teach me a little bit about that. He flies that stuff. And try to land at some crazy places. There's this small private strip on the Iowa side of Omaha, which is Council Bluffs. That's up in the hills, and it's a really, really neat strip that I had no idea existed until the game. But last time I looked, it was no longer like a registered airport on the screen, but you can definitely fly to it and land at it and take off. But it's a really cool takeoff, and all of a sudden the land falls out from under you, like a lot of those crazy mountain airports. But this one is just a hill in Iowa. Alright, well, those clouds were absolutely nothing because we're going through them now, and it's just more of a haze. Quite a bit of haze off on the horizons. Get turned south here soon. Take a look around again, and a lot of nothing. This is kind of why I wanted to get to the coast, just because the middle of Florida is just a lot of lakes and swamp and not all that exciting. But yeah, that's definitely the Atlantic there. Is it a lake or a river? Maybe I might have got my roads wrong there. Maybe not. There's this little river that runs along this, that has some lakes along it. Looks like we got 3 different little lakes up ahead of us. Trying to figure where that is on the map. Not really seeing where that would be, so maybe we're just a little further north than I thought we were. I don't think so, though. Like I said, it doesn't matter. We're heading south, and we're not going to venture out over the ocean. So we'll eventually get there. And we can just land on the beach if we run out of fuel. But we got a full tank, so that's not going to happen this time. We got a dammed up lake over there. And I think that is Lake Marion. That means Melbourne's over there, and these are just reservoirs, man-made, maybe ahead of us. The air is really smooth though right now. Haven't had to correct anything. Not having issues with controller pounding us to the left or right. That's a positive. Almost like we got autopilot on right now. Alright, so looks like once we get to the beach, it's going to be right at Vero Beach. We'll just follow that all the way down. When we get to West Palm Beach, we'll probably just straight line it down to find a racetrack. And then we'll just head over Miami. There's going to be a lot of major airports in the Miami area. Then land at the Homestead General Aviation. We'll go over the Speedway, of course. Alright, got a little bit of error there. Nose went way up for a second. I'm guessing as we get closer to the coast, we should get a bit more wind and bumps, I would assume. There we go. That is the Atlantic. I don't know if we ever actually seen the Pacific, or if we started too far inland. Definitely seen a bay connected to the Pacific, but figure out the mileage that we've done too. It's just a rough estimate of that. But I think what we ended up with is we crossed into 11 different states. The shortest amount of states that you can cross the United States in is 9. From the East Coast to the West Coast. Here, we got a little cloud going above us. So we're starting to see some towns sprouting up here on the coast. Lots of probably little lakes that form up, or oh, that was a big bump. Maybe some sinkholes, the way that Florida works. Okay, so we are, just to show you, we're going to be crossing through here, and then I think we just kind of keep heading in this direction, and we'll get near beaches right around here. This is the plan. We're getting a few more clouds now. We've got it set to noon. We took off at 12:30, so it's 1 o'clock now. In game. Florida, no elevation. Lots of water, though. I don't know if this is flooded or just kind of like a tamed swamp area, or supposed to be reservoirs like this. See some interesting stuff though once we get over towards the beach and the barrier islands. And double check what the weather is down in Homestead. It does look like it might be a little cloudier down there, but it could just be the haze. But if we run into some rain, it's no big deal. So it looks like there are some thunderstorms popping up on the coast, but they're rolling out towards the Bahamas. So it shouldn't be anything that we got to worry about. If it's even modeled. Hopefully it is. Off that I always forget to turn off. See if we can get just a little bit better mix here. Alright, so are going to come across a fairly large airport to our left. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not, but there is Thurstmaster. Is this town here, it looks like. Might go over private airport if we can see it. Usually those are very difficult to spot. I've climbed up a little bit more, but let's deal with it. Private airport is on the south side and somewhere in here. That's going to be so difficult to spot, especially with everything in rows like it is. it's possible to spot this. I don't know which way, what direction it's going, or anything like that. But it could be this here. Not really seeing anything. It's supposed to be like in this area. I don't see anything that I could say, oh yeah, that's a grass strip. Yeah, that's gonna be one of those where it's just, you know it because you took off from it. Or you've seen pictures of it. I am not seeing anything. Knows? I don't. But we'll continue on because we don't have to worry about it. Alright, so there should be an airport over here. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Look at this, we got our water racetrack down here. No idea what that is, but definitely looks like an old horse track that's been flooded. Definitely looks like an old horse track that's been flooded. So we got this road coming down. That is Interstate 95. That's this main road here. Going at this angle. The coast doesn't start turning back towards the west until West Palm Beach. So we may not even start flying over the beach until around there. It's gonna be difficult to say because I don't want to go too far the east. I mean, I know it's only like 20, 30 miles over there, but there's supposed to be another private or small strip around here, but not seeing that. Works better when you have GPS to tell you where it's at. Alright, we're heading straight south. Let's head over to the beach, because this is all fairly boring right now. It's only going to take a few extra minutes. Headed this direction. Maybe be able to see some interesting stuff. Right now, all we're seeing is swamp. Lots of water everywhere. Bunch of orchards underneath us. What is this? A big solar farm, or is it a fish farm, or is it nothing? Kind of got the same thing going on up here. If there's anything that is described on. Anything to, like, explain what it is, look for. Yeah, that's definitely solar. Might be a private strip there. An airport or an airplane up there. And I guess that's the airport that I was talking about. That was supposed to be on the coast. Already more excitement over here. Or at least things to look at that aren't trees and swamp. So it looks like that plane's going in to land. We're well above anything on those approaches. That over there is Lake Okeechobee. See what November 317M is. Search. Pull them up on FlightAware. It is taking off from Fort Pierce and heading to Dallas, Texas. That's what it says. Bank of Utah trustee Falcon 2000. So some rich peoples. I think they just took off from further south and are in their climb. Though they don't look like they're climbing all that much. There might be something wrong with the AI. We've seen that at the start of this when we were watching someone fly through mountains. there is Vero Beach Airport. Plane is not moving very fast and kind of looks like it's landing there. Yeah, it just landed there. Okay, so maybe what I saw was an old flight. Got another plane down there, taxiing now. Gonna be a lot more things going on here, especially Friday afternoon. All the people heading back to wherever they live. Alright, so up ahead is so this is Vero Beach, and I think that's going to extend all the way down into here. No, down here is Port St. Lucia. And that is where that plane was supposed to have taken off from. I don't think it knew what it was doing. So this isn't photogrammetry, but this definitely is. I don't know how much we'll be able to see from this altitude. Might drop down a bit, just to see a bit of what this town's about. The airport for here is kind of on this little inland peninsula thing. Start to see the buildings popping in though. Down to around 3,500 or lower. It'll help us pick up some speed too. See right where photogrammetry starts. These are all just AI generated stuff, and then we'll get into some better looking stuff. And I don't know anything about this town, so interesting to see how big of buildings they've got. Maybe there's some fairly large hotels over on the beach. baseball fields over there. We'll just fly straight over the top of the airport so we don't get in anyone's flight path. Got some bigger hotels though out there on the islands. Definitely some large buildings. Breaking some rules here, but that's what Flight Sim's about. Cool little river in here. Lots of water in through town too. And some wetlands along here. Then the real beach doesn't really start until the barrier islands there. So we're at 4,000 feet. Try to get a bit lower. You're going to see lines in the water in photogrammetry areas. It's just seams that don't patch up right at certain draw distances. We've got a power plant off there, maybe. This is the Florida that everyone knows. Just a little strip of beach off the actual coast. Not a whole lot in town that I'm seeing. I would assume this is kind of the main commercial area. Maybe it's more up over here, but I'm going to guess around the airport's more industrial. Got a marina here, I think. Probably the downtown area. Kind of looks more squared off and dense. So rather than following the beach out there, I'm just going to head straight south now. And that will take us kind of over the area that we want to go to be able to see Palm Beach International Raceway, or whatever it's called now. It's been an R factor. I believe iRacing scanned it a long time ago, but then just never released it because it was never a priority. So they've scanned it or bought the scans, but probably have never even built it. Like Willow Springs and a bunch of others that they've had contracts with. Alright, we're at 3,000. Level off there. Just a lot of neighborhoods down here. Very weird that the main road doesn't go directly to the bridge. It's kind of kinked off and over there instead of just taking this road straight to it, but I'm guessing there was some stuff already built up before they decided to do that. We got some water going over the bridge here. Patch itself up as we get closer, and it does. Lots of homes with access into the bay and then out to the ocean. All of these right at sea level. See the water coming up over some of these marinas. Continue on. Try to figure out where the racetrack is. School. And then, is that a prison right next to it? Interesting. Maybe it's a water treatment plant, but kind of looks like a prison the way that it's all squared off. Bump there. Bump. Alright, so we are leaving here. 95 is going to continue and then kind of go off to the left. And we're just going to head straight south and hopefully go over North Palm Beach County. Airport there. And then we'll see if any of this has got some rain in it. I don't think it's going to. There's just so much water around here. Alright, let's see how far along we are on our flight. Oh, we're well over halfway, I think. We're almost to the south side of the lake. So we kinda can't see it now because we're not as high. And we went kinda far to the east. Making good, well, not good time, but we're making time get there in a 2-hour flight. Quarter tank fuel gone. We're at 2,500, so let's stop dropping. Golf course over there. So we're gonna have a couple of airports. There's also a drag strip over here. We're gonna come across. But I'm gonna guess that's gonna be a little harder to see. And that might be where the racetrack is. I don't know. Taking a look at this. Going south from here, and the drag strip is off on this road up here. Might be able to see it. We're just gonna head straight with the roads, not try to go directly south. I think that is a private strip there. No, it's got power lines going through it, so it's just power lines. And it's on the wrong side of what I was looking for, so. The interstate again. Surrounded, of course, by water, because if you're not surrounded by water in Florida, well, probably not in Florida. Seems like everything has got water around it. Alright, so we got another private strip somewhere down in here. Let's see if we can find where it is. We have not been successful so far. It says it is somewhere in this grassland area. Marshland, I guess I should say. And it goes east to west. But it's not that, even though that looks like a good private strip there. That's there. Ah, we found it, because it's paved. It's got homes with hangars, like garages right off of it. Here we go, we found one. Okay, well, we know where we're at. We'll be going over, this is kind of like West Jupiter. So then there's going to be another airport going east and west right there. And then the drag strip is there. But yeah, we're a little too far away to see it. Then we're going to have an airport directly in front of us on this road, which is right there. So we're doing good on where we're supposed to be and knowing where we are. Then we're going to be getting into West Palm Beach and North Palm Beach and all the Palm Beaches. And it'll be back to photogrammetry. Got some larger buildings off on the coast. Photogrammetry along there as well. We've got more water. Alright, so you know what? Is that Palm Beach International? It might be. I'm not going to fly clear out of our way to go see it, but I think that might actually be it. So I have no idea what the... Oh, I bet there's... I've seen another racetrack indicator down here, but that's probably a horse track. So unfortunately we're going to miss that because it was farther north from Palm Beach than I thought. Fairly large airport for what it is. We're having lots of traffic out here too. Got an airliner, we got a private. Might get really close to us. It's at 2,000 feet though, we're at 2,500. Yeah, that one's getting really close to us. Don't think that's the correct plane type for it, but just ignore that. Yeah, that might have been a larger airport once before, and it's got reduced in size because they built this one in the middle of town, or I don't know. But it definitely doesn't look like it's all that well upkept, and they've removed a couple of runways or taxiways in the past. Pretty much once we get to the south side of town, it's all just going to be one town all the way down to Miami. there is the bigger airport, Palm Springs. Or Palm Beach, sorry. Headed straight down this residential area. Town's gonna fade away a bit, but then build back up. And that's when we're gonna also start getting the coast curving back towards us. Got 3 planes over there, 1, 2, 3, coming into land. Lots of traffic heading in there. We're heading straight through the flight path at the wrong altitude, but doesn't look like anything else is coming, so we might be okay. Plus, you know, they don't know we're out here. We haven't communicated on the radio at all. Power line path going straight through the trees there. Always makes it look really weird. Then we got another private strip that we might be able to see. I don't know if we will. This should be off to our right somewhere, but we might be too low at this point. Double check, we're still at 25, we're holding even there. Those 3 are all following each other in. And there's nothing else coming in on approach, so kind of got lucky. And we're getting some heavier clouds up here that looks like they're trying to form something. I have to say the weather does look fairly good though, since we've been mostly clear skies, and we're getting into some stuff that might change that up. Whatever that front is that's been trying to build things off the south side of Miami. The weather's a bit delayed from what is really happening, so this might have been the forming up of those storms. Now, I don't know if it updates live or changes as we go. See anything switches up. Nope, we got another one coming in, but we're over the flight path by 1,000, so that's good. There's the runway, so we are directly in that flight path. Completely wrong. And another one, and luckily we didn't get hit. Again, we're not doing the rules. The amount of water is ridiculous. Got one taken off. There's a lot of traffic. That's the most traffic we've seen since Salt Lake. Miami might be a complete mess to go through. We'll definitely have to focus on flying directly over airports so that not in any flight paths. Alright, so just to double check this, now leaving town, but town's gonna come back out. Should be fine going through these clouds. It's definitely warm down here. We've got a bunch of Indianapolises down here. Guessing just horse training again. I think that's the private strip back there that I was looking for. And then we're going to have a horse track coming up somewhere. I have no idea what that is. Gonna have a couple of horse tracks, actually. There's 3 different ones marked here, so I don't think it's all of those. Alright, so we're gonna scrape through the bottom of these clouds, it looks like. Definitely no rain. Maybe a little rain if we go through them, but not anything too concerning. It might bounce us around a bit. And it would be very easy to swerve around it, but we'll just go straight through. There's the horse track. Getting there. Back to swamp off to our right, marshlands. These are definitely not all that thick. They're just stacked high, so it got a little darker. But after these, it looks like we do have a bit of a line forming, but we'll see once we get closer to it. Yeah, nothing worth worrying about. bit blind at the moment, but still see off to our left, and of course we've got our instruments. This was a little thicker than I thought it was going to be, but it's only a couple 100 feet worth. Should be out of it in a few seconds. A few more to go through. An airliner up there, probably coming out of Miami. Horse track over there. And that's going to be Delray Beach over there. And Boca Raton. These clouds look really good. The lighting on them is very good. Alright, so maybe getting back into photogrammetry. Can't really tell. Yeah, it kind of looks like. At least there's photogrammetry off to that way. Bit more clouds, but nothing forming like I thought that there would be. I thought this was more of a line here, and it's just scattered bits. We do have a plane taking off over there. Got an airport over there. They are climbing out pretty quick. Another golf course down here. Alright, so from this point on, we're going to be over city until pretty much South Miami. It's going to be a lot. Got another plane that we can see off there. And Miami's got, like in the, I mean, it's hard to tell. We got Fort Lauderdale. And we got the North Perry Airport. We got Miami Exec. We got Miami International. We got another Miami Exec. So I don't know what this north one is. And then Homestead Air Force, and then Instead, general aviation is where we're gonna, out in the middle of nowhere, kind of. It's where we're gonna land. But since we're here, since we're making fairly decent time, we're gonna go over to the beach because that is where the action's gonna be. And hopefully we don't get hit by anyone coming in to land, take off. But we're gonna see a lot cooler things if we go over here as we come into town. Plus we need to kind of come out this way anyways to fly over Homestead Raceway and then head to the airport that we're going to. Cloud cover looks good on the ground. Another aircraft. Hop inside, make sure that we are not dropping and we're actually climbing up, so that's fine. Let's see what November 887 KJ is. Accidentally hit the throttle when I would hit that. That is just a Piper Archer. They are flying around. Looks like they go from Melbourne to Pompano Beach over and over and over, so it's probably a doctor or something. Or light training. But maybe just someone that commutes by private plane. Another plane up in the sky right there. We're gonna have a lot of traffic. That's an airliner. We're getting to some bigger buildings and some really dark clouds there that might have some rain in them. Oh, we got a big airport here. That has got to be Fort Lauderdale. It's got a bit of rain in it. Baseball stadium down there, and a soccer stadium, maybe a football. Maybe both. Horse tracks. Is that like Florida International, Florida Atlantic, or just a random soccer stadium? Might be just Fort Lauderdale FC. Alright, so then we got a big airport, Fort Lauderdale Holly. What we just went over was exec. Gonna be downtown Fort Lauderdale, I assume, right here. Got a couple of planes coming in to land, 3 of them. It looks like everything's landing towards the east and then taking off towards the west, at least from what we saw. Come over here and split these clouds. Lots of action here. Really happy with this live weather though right now. I mean, this looks pretty awesome. Nope, looks like we've got them taken off the same way they're landing. I don't know what's going on there. Let's hope we don't get too close to anything. It looks like we're high enough. Screenshot real quick. So, downtown, Fort Lauderdale. We got that airliner cargo climbing out above us now. Man, this looks really good. Like the contrast in the sky and heavy clouds over here, the beach and sunny over here. This guy's just kind of hanging around down here. These are all on the ground, so we don't have to worry about them. There's that guy. Okay, now he's coming down. I thought he was climbing out. That guy's now climbing out. We're okay, though, where we're at. Let's hop in. They're turning out left. We're going to just under the clouds. It's been a lot more exciting. They are turning back now, 4152, so we don't have to worry about them. They're way above us. Definitely some clouds ready to rain. Very big airport there. Bunch of planes just sitting on the ground, nowhere to go. We're trying to have the AI figure out where they're supposed to be going. Alright, well, we made it past that cloud. Now we're coming up on Miami Beach. Hopefully not a whole lot of traffic up around Miami, but I'm guessing there's going to be quite a bit. We'll start to see it when we get closer. It's a really good looking beach there. And that's just really cool. Take another screenshot. Another horse track. And we're gonna have some airports off to our right. Doesn't look like there's any traffic. There's some very large buildings down here now. Lots of buildings. And cat is yelling. So trying to look for airports. They're much farther inland. Not seeing any lights or any notifications or labels, so I think is there just one up here? I know I'm cheating with having those on, but it makes it a lot easier and see things. That's a really nice looking golf course. But you gotta be rich to play there. Glad we flew over here. A lot more interesting. So I guess we can go look for the stadium. I doubt it's updated with the new designs to it, but that's essentially a F1 track now. That's going to be kind of off the end of the runways, it's looking like, for Miami International. So we're going to head over here and not worry about this beach area. It's clouding up on us again here, but it's really cool looking. Alright, so we're almost to 3,000. the screen for a second. Let's get this back to normal. And yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot of Miami traffic, so I'm not sure if information is just not being sent over correctly or what. I'm guessing this water is supposed to be a little bit shallower looking. We're not really getting that. But maybe not. There's the international airport. So we're gonna drop down, get back to around 2,000, fly fairly low because we can. Another screenshot. Just because I love how all of this looks. Sending these to my brother because he actually used to live out here and fly out of here. But that is the stadium. It might have Hard Rock updates to it. Definitely not seeing any action over at the airport. Got the port and everything over here. There's the other airport back there. So yeah, definitely not getting any airport data, but maybe if the storms are going over this area and we're just not getting the storms in game. Oh, there we go. We got one that popped up there. They could have some delays. So it does look like maybe they've got Hard Rock updated. Out of the way before anything takes off. All right, looks like we should be good. What's going on with this? It doesn't look like what I think, but maybe it's like, oh, okay. Cat just ran across a wire and it somehow made the plane turn. Maybe it was just, oh my god, what is this? Baseball field with a football field? Ugh. Alright, well there's Miami. Fairly big. And there is the stadium and now F1 track. I think, or is that the baseball stadium? That might be the baseball stadium, although I didn't know it had a retractable roof, but I know the football stadium definitely doesn't, so football stadium. Yeah, that's baseball. Well, shit. I don't know. I don't think it's any further in. Let me look that up. Oh, it was way north. Shit, we missed that by a mile. Okay, it's like not even really in Miami. I mean, it is, but isn't, so. Well, now we know that. We're looking to go to the F1 race. Don't go to Miami. Go to the town it's actually in. Well, now we got a bit of trip down here, and I guess luckily we went lower because these clouds are getting lower. Lots of meowing happening out of the cat. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but she is not pleased. The post-food meows. Might actually have her video coming out after this video because reaching 10,000 subscribers, so that could be what comes out after the video today. I still haven't started work on it, so we're gonna have to work on that a bit tonight because guessing this weekend I'm hitting 10,000. Unless we just randomly get 30 or 40 subscribers out of nowhere. More than the average. Alright, so we're going to be looking for the racetrack. I do not know if it's photogrammetry. And we're going to land for the final time this series. So we got an Air Force base that we got to find first. The racetrack is kind of at the end of one of the runways. So I'm gonna guess this is like, I don't know if this is Homestead or if this is Marine. I think it might be Marine. Is that another baseball, football stadium? It looks like it. That was supposed to be a baseball field there, but what is up with that, Florida? Well, let's follow this road down. Eventually going to find a Air Force base. It's really hard to tell how far along we are. I'm trying to find things on the coast that make sense. That match up with what I'm seeing. Alright, so we got a airport over there. That is going to be Miami exec. So we still got a ways to go. compared to where we started off, pretty much there. This has been a good flight though. I like how the clouds formed up. Got a plane in front of us. Definitely got storms. It looks like storms off over there where I saw them on the radar, but it's cleared up a bit here. That's good. Hour and 52 into this video. And probably got about 10 minutes left. I guess, right around that. Now I know last time I flew down here, some of the AI trees were massive. I don't know if that is a decent height or not. It doesn't really compare to the trees inside the city, but I don't know how these had to have been planted after construction, and these were just have never been cleared out, or the AI trees are way too tall. But I don't know if they've gotten better since I was last down here or not. We got another plane heading over. That's an airliner. Alright, so the striped water stuff down here. There's the Air Force Base, so Homestead has got to be right there. That little patch. And I think this is the town of Homestead over here. And we're going to see if racetrack is photogrammetry. I don't think it is. It looks like photogrammetry goes up to the Air Force Base, just because it's got that like grayish tint. Then it looks like after on the south side of the Air Force Base that there is just AI generated only. Actually, that is not it. It's up here. So maybe we're good. I know I've flown there. I thought it was photogrammetry, but it has been a long time. These are getting pretty low and dark. Another airline coming in. Probably not allowed to fly this low over this base, but again, what have we done legal? Save that for when Dad tries to teach me how to do Aspen. They definitely found a place out in the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing it's the cheapest land they could find. Right off the end of a runway of an Air Force base. It's kind of funny that they put Miami in the name, Homestead Miami Speedway. Might as well call it Homestead Tallahassee Speedway. Alright, I can see the stands, or what it's generating as stands, if I'm looking at it correctly. Or that's not even it. I think it is, though. Yep, it's definitely the track. Fly over that, and let's start contacting the, what is this place called? Miami Homestead General. Oh, and we have weather. We don't even have weather, right? Yep, this is all AI generated, so this is going to look a bit ugly. Let's see what the weather is here.
Homestead Airport information, Kilo 19.
Wind calm. Alright.
X-ray 51 traffic Cessna Kilo November Echo Bravo Oscar November 59 miles east 2,400 feet inbound to land runway 36.
So, there's the track. Of course, the stands are all turned into buildings because the AI doesn't know how to handle that. The rest of it looks good. Stands kind of throws it off. Got a little go-kart track there. I don't know if that's a track. Looks like it. But, there is Homestead. And now, go land. Because there's nothing really further southeast of here other than a private airport. That's out on Key Largo. Or, yeah, out on that island. So, we're definitely not going to go out that far. It's not that much farther, but since it's not private, we're not going to count that. So yeah, that is the south. Now Florida goes down a little bit further south, and then you got the Keys. But we are pretty much at the end of civilization. Now we gotta just find this airport. Which is gonna be a bit out of town. I don't know what this American Airlines is doing. They've been circling for a bit. Or it's just a bunch of different American Airlines. Could very well be. I think there is more than one. There's two in our sight. Let's try to spot this. Slow down. I see the airport pretty much right under the American airline. Just gonna follow this. Slow ourselves down. Gotta make the final landing good. Do it right. Come in nice and slow. 1,800. Let's go ahead and see if the altimeter changed when we last listened to the weather. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, end of the runway's in sight. Right there. So we're gonna come down. Kind of where that road starts. Probably get down to 1700. It's the altitude. Looks like we're at 300, 200 feet maybe 100 feet ground level. Fairly short runway, but we will be fine. Start backing it off more, should be able to drop the altitude more, and then get ourselves turned in. Hopefully the winds are calm, but it shouldn't be too much of a roll. Now I just gotta figure out which one's the runway. I think it's the left side, you would assume. Looks like we can see the lights off to the left. Turn. Trim this thing out so I'm not bouncing around as much. Okay. Can't tell if those are pappy lights or not. I think they are. As far as I can tell, we've got 2 white. Needing to get 1 red. Nearly there though, I think. Like the angle we're coming in is good. Actually, the AI trees around here don't look terrible. Not too tall. Still got 2 white. And go a click of flaps, bring our speed down just a bit more. Kind of stall our descent out for a moment. Pull the power back to let the nose drop. Another click. Come in really slow. I don't know if those lights are even working. I feel like we should be getting a red. There we go. Off center, a little low, but there, so be okay. Cut the power all the way, nose up, and we're down. A little rough. There is no wind here. Sun is down. Definitely got some clouds. And we're gonna go to the taxiway, park, and for those that have watched all of this, thank you very much for watching all of it. You're crazy if you did. But this has been a fun trip. I've wanted to do this for so long, and it took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it was a lot of fun seeing everything that we did and getting lost and doing it a really hard way of just off of charts and visual, no radio. Only one major mistake. A couple of bad landings in crosswind, but I finally figured those out. And land in Florida, no wind at all. These guys want me to park here, and I'm going to say no, and we're going to go park over here. But yeah, that has been something I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's taken a whole year almost, but it was worth it. That is a new plane that I bought there. It's a little weird to fly. I don't really like it at the moment, but it could have been an issue with the build, so I will give it another go and see. But time to kill the engine, and there we go. Seattle to Miami, or pretty much as far northwest to as far southwest as I could go in the United States. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been fun, and I will start working out ideas for the next series.